To my channel Programming with Vishnu. Okay, in yesterday's video as a part 1 we learned what is JDK, JRE, JVM, loops, and what is typecasting, what is variables, what are data types. In this video as a part 2 we are going to learn one more important feature like object oriented programming in Java. Object oriented programming in Java. Okay, in this first we are going to learn about what is class, what is object, how we are going to create an object, okay, what is constructor, what is overloading constructor, okay, what is constructor chaining, then types of constructors here only. So we are going to learn these all topics today. First of all, before going to the topics, what is a class? What is a class? Okay, first we'll understand one example. Consider there is a one person who is student. Okay, there is a student. Okay, he went to one college. He gone to one college. You want to take admission here. You want to take admission here. How is going to take an admission here? You need to fill an admission form. You need to fill an admission form. Filling an admission form means he is providing his details like name, okay, and okay, roll number, something like which course, and what is the class, which class, like college, like in which branch or something like the information you need to provide in admission form. When you fill the admission form, then here whoever the person, like consider like clerk, he is going to create his object, he is going to create his record into a database. He is going to create a record by seeing this information into a database. Okay, then this student is enrolled into this college. Okay, one student is there, he went to a college, then he took an admission form, he filled the basic details, then clerk what he did, he inserted a one record. I mean, he created record for these students, like his students is existed into a database. Okay, here consider filling in a details, like student is already existed. Okay, what he did, he provided a details here. He provided a details. By using these details, he created one record. Okay, by with the details he created one record. Here providing details in a form of admission form, like as a kind of plan, a kind of like kind of you providing one form to him. This is a class. Okay, by using this class, by using this form, he created one record, that is object. That is object. Okay, so here a class. Now you understand here what is a class. Class is a blueprint of an object. Class is a blueprint of an object. Class is a blueprint of an object. Blueprint of an object, in which it contains here like properties and behaviors of a object. Okay, consider blueprint and object. Okay, blueprint means like some plan. Okay, consider one example. Now you're going there is a one car object. Okay, here one car is there. Directly how you will build a car? First you will plan. Okay, suppose you need to build a car with an engine which is 1.5 liter. Okay, then you will pick a color like black. Okay, then you will choose the transmission, whether automatic or gear. Okay, you will plan this, means you will prepare a plan like with the properties, means the car contains what is a color, what is a name, okay, what is a model, okay. Then behaviors means what this car can do, okay. Like car means you can travel, like move, it can move like forward direction, it can move backward direction, okay. Like nowadays cars are coming, there is an action, self driving, this is also one behavior, okay. These behaviors will plan first, then we'll create an object of a car, then we'll provide that behaviors, then we'll call by once you bought a car, then you need to press a button for self driving, right? Here when you're pressing a button means you're calling that behavior of a object, okay, calling that behavior of a object. So here what is a class? Class is a blueprint of an object which contains properties. Here in coding terms, properties means variables, properties means variables, behaviors means methods. Here behavior means methods, methods means like kind of work, or like kind of like any verb, like kind of what is, like kind of what it will do, okay. So every class contains properties and behaviors, okay, of a object. Class is used to create an object. However, in the, before example, student registration form is used to create a student record in his database. Here registration form of a student is a class. The actual object is created when he created a student object. So here you need to remember, when you write a class in a Java, no memory is going to be occupied in a whenever your Java application is running, simply class is there will be no memory, it will be occupied, okay. But when it will be occupied, when the object is created, then the memory will be occupied, okay. Now observe. So now you understand what is a class. Class is like blueprint or plan, okay, which contains like properties means variables, then one more thing, it will contains behaviors like methods, okay. Now observe, it contains, now it is like kind of representation, this kind of representation. Now what is object? Object is a physical entity. Object is a physical entity which is really present. See now, car plan, then car, this is plan, this is car, the plan is converted, this is object, real world entity, okay. The same way physical entity, object contains, okay, properties and behaviors, okay. Where this whichever properties variable we define, then we'll use these properties to declare this object, okay. Now suppose there are so many names, okay, consider names will be there before only, and behaviors also will be like playing cricket, okay, or playing badminton. For the student, you will assign one, you will have one name, right? So there will be number of names, like that properties and variables will be there. Based on the object you are going to create, you are going to assign the properties, okay. Object is kind of physical entity which contains properties and behaviors. Now observe here definition, okay. OOP stands for object oriented programming, okay, a method of designing programs using real world, like in Java, everything in Java, why it is object oriented, everything will be in Java, everything will be like processed and by using objects. That's why Java is object oriented programming language. Everything whichever you are doing an action, everything will be used by using an objects, okay. Now see, that's what in real world application like concept we have, what are the OOPS concept? Class, object, inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism. Now we are discussing about classes of concept. What is a class? I said class is a blueprint that defines the properties and behaviors of a object. A class does not consume memory until an object created from it. Okay, see here I given, think of it's an architect design of a house, like you will have a plan of your house, still it is not constructed. This is class. Okay, an object is an instance of a class. Okay, your house is developed by using a plan, right? So it is, the house is a, whichever the plan you have, that is, for that it is a real entity. It is there, we can say an object is a instance of a class. For this class, this is an object. It is a real world entity that has states. State means attributes. Attributes means variables. And behaviors means methods. Okay, objects are created in a memory and consume actual memory space. Okay, when this is a plan is there, it is in paper. When you actually construct a house, it is going to occupy some space, right? The same way, when the objects are created in a programming, it is going to be actual memory space. Okay, think of it is an actual house built from the blueprint. Okay, that is what class and the object. Now see here I given, instance means objects are instance of classes, states means variables and fields, behavior means methods, identity. See now when you create an object, okay, suppose when you build an house, for this house you will have identity, right? Like house number. The same way, when object is created in a Java programming, for every object there will be a memory location like identity. Okay, to get that object, suppose when I say to my like JVM to get me some student object, how it will define, in many students will be there, right, under my database. When I give him identity like unique address, then it will fetch the correct student object. That is what you did. Memory allocation, like some memory will be allocated for that student object. Okay, now the main thing here in how you are going to create an object in a Java. Okay, like when you have a plan of a house, your house, how you are going to construct a house, like by calling person who is going to construct an house, like contractor. You'll call a contractor and you will provide him a plan, then he will construct an house and he will provide you back. Correct? The same way in Java programming language, how you are going to create an object. You have a class, okay, where you define like attributes or properties or variables, then some behaviors. Okay, now how are you going to create for this class an object? Okay, you're going to use a new keyword. Okay, which with this new keyword, what will happen, it will provide some memory for object creation. It will call a constructor. Okay, by using a new keyword which will provide some memory, this new keyword, then we are going to call a constructor. This constructor will return object. Okay, here this new is like it will provide some memory space and it will call a constructor. This constructor will return an object. Okay, the same way here in real time, you're going to give a plan to contractor. That contractor is going to build some house like in some area. If you have your own land, otherwise he will buy a land and he will build an house, then directly he will deliver you and a house. The same way here, by using a new keyword, here new is a keyword which is used for object creation, then you have to call a constructor, then that constructor will return a object. This is the way you can create object in a Java programming. Okay, we'll see here one like, okay, you have suppose example student object. You have an example student object. Okay, see, always remember, okay, yesterday we talked about like variable declaration, right? Data type, then name, then value. Correct? Now here you are creating an object, okay, by using constructor. This is the constructor. Okay, consider this is constructor. Okay, now it is giving you some data back. You need to hold. Which will be holding? Here variable will be holding the data. This suppose I'm saying. Okay, consider now here an example, they are giving a car. They are giving you car a bag. You need to take and park somewhere. Okay, okay, they are like, they are giving you a student object. You need to keep it in somewhere. For that, what you need? A variable you need which holds a data. Here and student object is also data. Everything here data. So for that you will create a variable. Consider student1 name. Okay, for int, for your numbers you have integer. For variables, suppose for strings for for words you have string. But here for this name, which is the data type, always remember whichever is coming. Suppose you're creating a student object, then student is the data type. Suppose you're creating a car object, then car is the data type. Okay, here you can use one more data type, that is object. Object is the super class for all the classes in a Java. Okay, that I will explain in a, when I am explaining you parent and child behavior. As of now, you remember, when you're creating a student object, you need to assign to the student data type. Okay, now let's see coding example. Okay, observe here we have a student. Okay, student class where we have student name and roll number, marks, okay, course and email. Now I need to create. He came to the student, he provided the details. Okay, now I am going to first create a student. How we are going to create a student? Okay, observe student. This is variable declaration. I am giving student1. Okay, now I am calling, I am using new keyword. I am calling a constructor student. Okay, now see, it is created a student object. Okay, what I said, every student object. Now see here, system.out.println, system.out.println, I am printing here student information. Observe, see, it is given some, like, observe here, it is what it is given. It is printed something class and object dot student 5f11. See, this is the memory location. Okay, this is the reference for that memory location. Okay, I said right here, remember, every identity, each object has unique identity in memory. This is that identity information. This is that identity information. That means our object is successfully created. So here I have, you are using new keyword and constructor, then you are assigning to the variable. Okay, this is the way you will create object creation. Okay, now you are creating for the student object, right? Since student class, you just only have the variables. Where is this constructor? You calling that student, but where is that constructor here? Okay, observe here. Okay, here in a Java, an object is created using the new keyword which allocates a memory for the object, and it calls its constructor. Okay, new keyword is used for memory allocation and it will call the constructor. Then what is constructor? A constructor is a special method that is automatically called when the object is created. See here, understand, constructor is used only for the object creation and initializing the instance object variables when at the time of object creation. That is the two usages. What is the use of constructor? To create an object and to initialize object variables at the time of object creation. And what is that, how you will create a constructor? See, constructors are, okay, now observe, in our class we don't have any constructor. How the constructor it came to create an object? Okay, remember one more point here. When you don't have any constructor in your class, okay, you don't have any constructor in your class, automatically the Java will provide the default constructor. Automatically Java will provide the default constructor. Okay, the default constructor means a constructor without any parameters. Okay, just simply used to create one object without initializing any values, without initializing anything. Now observe here what I'm saying, trying to say. See, when your class doesn't have any constructor, okay, this is a class, okay, before compilation Java C, when you compile your class, suppose class student, okay, the compiler, when the compilation happening, it will add the default constructor student, okay, like this. Why I written a student? Always remember the constructor name and class name should be same. The constructor name and class name should be same. What will happen? You don't declare any constructor. See, it is a zero parameterized constructor. There is no parameters. Understand, parameters means which you are passing inside this parenthesis. Okay, those are called parameters. Here constructor will provide a default constructor without anything, just one constructor. Okay, how you will write a constructor? First you need to understand how you will write a constructor. Suppose example, I have a class student, okay, then here I have just example, I have one string variable, string name. Okay, how are you going to create a constructor? Just simply just create one, just keep the class name as same class student, then open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Okay, this is a constructor. Okay, here you can provide number of parameters. Here you can do anything. When you student object creating, you can perform any operations here inside this block. Okay, here why we need to use parameters, I will explain. Okay, see, this is the way you need to write a constructor. Observe here. Now you have a student information, you have created a student object, but how you will print, how you will initialize, how you will provide the data for that student, how will, okay, by using student reference. Okay, here see, I am using here student reference. This is the student reference, student1 dot name. We have a name, we have equals to suppose Vishnu. It is throwing error. Okay, this is private, that's why. See, 1 minute. When a private is there, you can't call from other classes. Okay, now observe how you are going to do student1 dot name Vishnu. Then how you are going to initialize student name 1 dot, you have course, so I am taking here some, okay, Java course. Okay, this is the way you will initialize instance variables. Initialize instance variables. Instance variables means object variables. Object variables. Now observe here, this is the way. Now when you, how you will know that here, when you're calling, when you are, how you will print or how you will access the variables of a student, the same way how you are assigning student reference dot name equals to name, right? The same way reference dot variable name. See, student1 dot course. Now when I run this, see here, I got a Java. Okay, I got a Java. I have taken here Java course, right? That's why it got Java printed. See, course is Java. Okay, this is the way you will initialize a variables of a instance variables. Okay, specifically for that. Okay, now suppose, now see here, I created one more student, student2. Okay, new student. Okay, new student object. Then for that student, okay, now dot, you have to provide some name. You can provide some ABC like this. Okay, student see here, to 1 means again it will be assigned to the same thing, student 2 dot course. Okay, some Python. Now to access the second student information, you need to use second student reference. See, what is the second student reference? Student 2 dot course. Okay, now observe here. When I execute here, see, it printed the two courses. This is first student course, this is the second student course. This is the way you will create an object and you will initialize instance variables, and this is the way you will access instance variables. Okay, now here, let me comment this. Okay, the next topic here is types of constructor. Okay, detailed explanation. Now observe here, I said the constructor name should be same as class name and no return type. Okay, now here initialization, why you need to set the initial values to the object attributes when the object is created. I will tell you what it is. Overloading, you can write multiple constructor with different parameters. I will explain here. See, we have different types of constructor. One is default constructor and one is parameterized constructor. Here default constructor means whichever we are using it, the Java compiler provide, that is also default constructor. Suppose if you don't want to Java compiler, you can write your own constructor. See, I am writing here public access file, next student, then open parenthesis, close parenthesis. This is your constructor. Okay, this is your constructor. Okay, see here what you can do. Suppose you want to perform some actions when object is creating, you can write that code here. Okay, perform some actions. Okay, see, now here what I will do, I will write here system.out.println. Okay, what I will do here, I will provide one string, object is created. Okay, object is created. Now see here, when I create a student by calling this default constructor, now observe, see, it is printed, object is created. So here inside these blocks you can write any code or initialize variables, you can do anything that will be called when at the time of object creation. Okay, this is also will called as a default constructor. I see here I mentioned provided by Java if no constructor is defined, or 0 parameters for user defined. If you define a constructor with 0 parameters, it is also called as default constructor. Okay, suppose you need to write a default constructor, you don't have any parameters, but you need to perform some actions. That time you can define your own constructors without any parameters. Okay, this is what the default constructor. Now observe here, we'll back to our example. Okay, now see here, there is a college. Okay, there is a college. Now your students will be there. Student 1, student 2, student 3. Okay, these 3 people will go to the college. Okay, now what will happen? This student might have not decided a course. Okay, now see here, now this student, he just want to register. Okay, only register, like a kind of only will provide his name, register. Okay, when you just didn't register, no, you don't have roll number, correct? The student 3, he want to register completely. You know what is course? Okay, you know everything. So now when the clerk is creating an objects, how is going to create? First student is going to create only with the name. Okay, student 1. Second student is going to create with the name, roll like admission number, consider admission number. Okay, but no course. because he didn't decided still. The third student, you need name, admission number, then with the course. See here you're creating an student object with the three different ways. How you gonna achieve this? This is you gonna achieve with like kind of overloading constructors. Overloading constructors. Okay, based on your requirement, you can create number of constructors with different parameters. Observe here. This example we'll learn here. Now I need to create an object. See, now student 1 is there. He came, he filled an application form, name Vishnu. Okay, suppose what we have details here, name, roll number, marks, course, email. Okay, he just want to register, nothing you don't want to do. He just said name Vishnu and he selected a course. Okay, then what will be course? A kind of Java course is selected. Okay, he didn't pay fee. Means didn't confirm his admission. Okay, now observe how you normally now we'll create a data student. Okay, now I am saying student 1 is equal to new student. Okay, then you're going to assign like this, student 1 dot name Vishnu, student 1 dot course like Java. See how you're going to create like this. Why? Because you have a default constructor here. Okay, but now I said when I am explaining you guys what is the constructor are used to initialize object. Here said used to set initial values to the object attributes when the objects are created. Okay, now you are assigning it separately, right? But you can do one more way. You can create a constructor here. See, now I am creating a constructor. Public constructor name should be class name student Okay, now here observe. Okay, here I will take a what I am going to do. I have a name and right name string name. Okay, and string course. Okay, string name and string course. So here name equal to this dot. I will explain what is this dot. Okay, as of now, see, I will just tell you. Okay, see here I am changing the like small letter name to cap letter name. Observe why I am doing this. Course. Okay, name equals to name. Okay, course I am assigning here. Course equal to course. Observe. Now here I have a constructor with the two parameters. Now I need to create here an object by using two parameters only, right? Now see, instead of doing like this above way, we can use parameterized constructor. How? The same way you provide student data type student 1 equals to new student. Now you will call a constructor, you will provide the values. How it is there? You need to provide name and course. Okay, name here I am providing Vishnu, then course. Course is Java. Okay, see, now you directly can access system println. Now see here, course is student 1 dot course. Now observe here, course is Java. Okay, here you can initialize, okay, like kind of instance variables by using object reference after creating an object, or you can while creating only you can provide the values inside a constructor Okay, however you define a constructor, the same way you need to provide the values, then you can access by using the student reference. This is the way you can use parameter constructor. Now here, what is my example here? There are 3 students, one only just want to register, one who paid the fee but doesn't know the course, but and one more know the all the information. Okay, I need to create 3 students object. For every 3 students object, I need to use the different constructor, because see, the first one have, okay, this first student have the like name, and another student doesn't know the course. Okay, and one more student, he know the course, and he know that he paid the fee, so he has admission number also. Admission number means roll number. Suppose roll number, he has roll number also, because after paying fee they assign roll number. Now how, this is 3 ways. Okay, now see here, when I don't provide here value, see it is throwing error. I know name, okay, I don't know which course, so it is throwing error, because when you here see this, you need mandatorily have to provide. Okay, so see, that's the time you then now you need get to know. Now you can use a concept called like overloading constructors. What is overloading constructor? Creating multiple constructors in a same class. Now observe here, this is one constructor. Okay, here I am going to create one more constructor, int roll number. Int roll number. Now see, when I didn't provided here roll number, now see it is throwing compilation error, because as I said, see here, where is this? You need multiple constructor can exit with different parameters. Now see here, what is happened? The same parameters, right? That's why it is going compile time only, it will throw error. Okay, so that's why I provided here one more. This is the constructor number 1. This is constructor number 2. I need one more constructor with only name. Okay, with only name. Now observe here. Roll number equal to roll number. Now I can create 3 objects with based on that. See, first student, student 1, he knows name and all, right? See, new, I can call like constructor which can see, first I will provide name Vishnu, then like course Java. Okay, that's it. I know. See, I created object by using one constructor. Now I am going to use one more constructor for the second, because I need here, see, student 2 only he knows name. Okay, don't know which course you want to join. Okay, consider it just kind of inquiry. Okay, that time also you need to store the information, right? See here, the second name will be some ABC. Okay, now see student 2. Now third student, student 3, he knows all the information. New student, kind of like ABD. Now he knows the course Python. Now here you know roll number also. Suppose he paid first, so he assigned roll number 1. Now see, when you want to create objects, and at the time of object creation you want to initialize some variables only. For that you need to use overloading constructors. Constructor overloading, it's nothing here. Constructor overloading means writing like multiple constructors in a same class. Here why we said overload? Suppose you are carrying one basket. If I kept one more basket on you, it will be overload for you, right? The same way, when one constructor is there in a class, we return 2 more constructors. That's why it's called as constructor overloading. Why we need? When you need to create a specific object with only certain data type. Okay, no need to provide all other information. Then you need to use specific constructor. That time you will create a multiple constructor according to your usage. See here, parameter can allow your pass. Now observe here, constructor overloading. Why use constructor overloading? To initialize an object differently depending on the situation. Now if we have this 3 different situations, so we have created 3 different constructors. Constructors overloading is a feature that allows to have more than one constructor with different parameter list. Okay, see, it is provide flexibility. Now you are creating the flexibility, right? Object you are creating with the information whichever you want, so it is providing you flexibility to avoid duplicate initializing logic. Now see, suppose you have one default constructor here, then what you have to do, you need to create again student info. See, second student, how you will create student. For every time you need to create like this. See, you need to create like this, student 2, student 3. Okay, and you need to assign values like this. See, this is the duplicate code, right? Okay, the same thing here. How many lines you written the code? Observe here. See, after every creation you written extra 6 lines of code, but I created 3 object with the values by using simply 3 lines of code. Here the code will be duplicated. This duplicacy will be you can resolve by using the constructors, like parameterized constructors. What are the rules? See, constructor must have the same name of as a class. Parameter list must be different, number or type or order. Now I will tell you what type and order. Suppose here you have two parameters, right? Now observe here. Now instead of here string course, I can change int roll number. Now see here, the error is gone. Okay, this is 2 parameters only, this is 2 parameters, but here this is string name and this is either string, it is here integer. Why sir, why we need like this? You can keep here some other, we have string course, but here Java doesn't know the variables. Okay, Java doesn't know variables. What happens when you call this constructor new student, which is string and string, either it has to call this constructor or this constructor, will be confused. Okay, sorry, here also, okay, string email mention. Okay, see, string email, still we have error. See what it is saying, error. Okay, let me execute this. Observe here. See, is already defined a class and object constructor. See, student string comma string is already defined. It is saying it is already defined. The constructor will not see your variable names, parameter names. It will see the data types. So that should be, data type should be different. Okay, data type should be different. So this you can create 2 parameters the same, but data type should be different. Okay, this here it's string, here string means here it has to be integer. And the here what I mentioned here, number, type, order. See here, this is 1 parameter, this is 2 parameter, this is number, type. Here string, this is the 2 parameters is there, here 2 parameters is there, but the second parameter type is different. Okay, then order. See here string is there. Okay, consider, observe, here also int is there. Okay, now okay, I want to declare here differently. Now see here, int roll number. Okay, here string name. See here, see here what it did. This is the same constructor, but here there is not throwing error. Why it is showing error? Okay, this is because of here we created right object, that's what. Okay, let me comment here for some time. Now observe here, this is 2 parameters, this is 2 parameters. Here also 1 integer is there, here also 1 integer, but string, but here order is different. Okay, this is what, like this is from here to here, the parameter number is different. From here to here parameter number is set, order is different. From here to here again parameters is different. This is the way you can call a you can overload a constructors. Okay, this is the rules. Now what is constructor chaining? Okay, observe here, nothing here. Constructor chaining means calling constructor of same class or parent class. Okay, here you have one constructor. Okay, inside this you're calling one more constructor calling. Okay, one more constructor calling here. Okay, observe. Why we need this? I will explain you guys. See here, observe. Let me create one proper constructor here. Observe. Now see here I created a constructor with all the values. Okay, this is like I have all values. Like we have before information, right? We have one person doesn't know which course he has to take. For that, what I have to do for him? I need to create one more constructor. I need to like define one more constructor here with which he doesn't know the course, so I need to remove this course. Okay, see here I need to assigning value also I need to remove. Observe here what is happening here. This is the same code, right? Whichever you have, this is the same code. Okay, instead of writing like this, okay, suppose example, one more you need to provide one more constructor. Like he doesn't know the marks. As of now, he still is not yet, his marks is not yet released. He don't know marks. Okay, observe. Now here, same thing, right? The same. Now observe here, except here doesn't have marks. Okay, you stay writing again the same logic. Instead of this, what you're going here, what we can do here, observe. We can use this keyword, okay, and then we can provide here these values, this name dot roll number. Okay, we don't know the marks, right? Still, so we will provide marks, default marks, okay, as default value as 0. Then we'll provide email, suppose some email. Now see what is happening here. This keyword, okay, observe. First we'll explain this keyword. Now here we have this keyword. This keyword is a reference variable that refers the current object instance. That refers the current object instance. It is used to differentiate between instance variables and parameters. Okay, I will tell. Now see here what happened. These are instant variables, right? Name, roll number, marks, course, email. These are all instant variable. But in your constructor also same is there. Name, roll number, marks and email. These both are not same. This is different. This is different. This is a variable, instance variable. This is a parameter. When you are assigning, suppose you keep like this dot name. Okay, see, it is assigned to the same. Now observe. I will show you one thing. See here, I will removing this keyword. Observe what will happen. Okay, I am going to create student. Okay, see here which one I will use. This one, name, roll number, marks and email. Name is something ABC, roll number 1, marks 88, email something like abc@gmail.com. Now observe, I created object, right? System.out.println. So I am calling here student1 object dot name, just first name. See, observe. See, it is a null, but you assign here value, right? Observe here what happens. When you're calling this constructor, this name is assigning back to this only. See, until a method scope or constructor scope, local variables will dominate the instance variables. So here you need to tell the compiler or runtime environment differentiate between this name and this name. That for this class reference, okay, to tell this this is not a parameter, this is the instance variable. For that we'll use this keyword. This keyword is used to refer present class object. Okay, now see, now JVM while executing, it will understand this is a instance variable and this is a parameter. Whichever the parameter value came, that you are assigning to the instance variable. See, now the same program I will run. See, we got ABC. That's what this keyword. Okay, here also we are using this. Okay, we are using this. This means this this constructor. Okay, how you know which constructor? Based on the parameters 1 2 3 4. See 1 2 3 4. Now the when you here see, this is pointing out to this constructor. Now suppose you want to call this constructor here, you have to provide as it is the parameters here. See now name, roll number, double, marks, string, course, right? You need to provide here some course, like something I am providing defaultly Java. See now it is pointing out to the this constructor. See when I click here, this, see this is going here, this is pointing out to here. This is the way you will call constructor. Why we need a constructor chaining here? Okay, to avoid duplicate code and get more flexibility. See now here, instead of doing this, we can use this keyword, okay, and provide name, roll number, okay, marks, okay. Next, we don't know the course, right? So default course you can keep, or default you can keep null also. Later you can assign null, then email. See, okay, this is the way you can, this is the constructor chaining, calling one constructor in a constructor another constructor. How you will call a present class constructor? By using a this keyword, by using a this keyword. Okay, this is called constructor chaining. Why we need constructor chaining here? Observe. Code reusability, avoid duplicate installation code. Now you seen, right, before we have duplicate code, we removed by using, here you have the 4 lines of code, now we removed by using 1 line. Okay, centralized logic, keep maintain initialization logic in one place. Okay, see now initialization logic is maintained at one place, remaining we are just providing the values. That is what centralized. Flexibility, now we have flexibility to create a way to object. Maintain, it is easy to maintain. Okay, because your logic is there at one point, installation logic, so it is easy to maintain. This is what constructor. Now in constructor chaining we have two types of constructor chaining. One is within the same class, you can call the super class constructor also. Observe here, I'll just briefly explain what is here parent class and child class. Now I'll tell you, suppose you're going to join a like intermediate, like means 11th standard. Okay, your 10th standard you are completed in the same school. Okay, in the same school. So you already have information. You are a former student. You are a former student. So here you already have the information, right? When now you are creating a student object, you just need to tell which course you are taking. Okay, because from this class you will get all the information. Okay, like email ID. Okay, this is the way. So how you will call that, I will tell you. Now observe here, it's already student. Now I am creating one more here, class, new class, former student. Okay, now it extends. This is the way you make a child and student. Okay, see here. Okay, observe here, it is saying you need to, there is no argument constructor. Okay, now see here, you need to provide the details of a student, right? What all the details is needed? Now you need this all the details. Okay, now here what we'll do, we'll create a one constructor. See here, I created a one constructor. Okay, now observe, former student, I created a name, roll number and email. Okay, email and like string course, okay. Now observe here, name, roll numbers, email, course. Now we have okay, observe, see now here, now you have, this is the constructor you created. Okay, now already you have the information, you are before a student, right? You are a former student. Now how you going to use, you just need to provide like course. Okay, like for course, observe here, you're going to use super class keyword and you will provide this all the values. See, this is the way. Now what will happen? Okay, you provide this. If you don't provide course, just See, you know these details from your before class. This is going to call constructor. Now suppose here we'll create one variable public string course. Okay, now observe. See here you will assign here only for this class by using this keyword, this, sorry, super, always it has to be first, this dot course see. Now you need to say only, you can use the superclass constructor. See, when I click here, this went to here. So this is the way you can call. This is also you're calling a constructor of other class. Okay, in a constructor you are calling another constructor. Okay, by using super keyword. When you will use a super keyword is used to reference immediate parent class. Okay, for this class, what is immediate parent class? Student class. Okay, to refer these class variables and constructors, we will use super keyword. Okay, this is one way of constructor chaining. By using the super keyword in the same class, you can use this keyword to do the constructor chaining. Okay, this is what constructor chaining. Now, what are the remaining object oriented principles? We have encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction. Each one will discuss in one video. We'll complete in next 4 videos all the object oriented principles. Okay, thank you guys, thank you for watching. If you like the video, please share, subscribe. Thank you.